Beautiful clouds today, boy. This doesn't even look like clouds. Welcome, friends and family, to another episode of The Refined Alchemist. I have a pretty good show today. It's going to be a long one. I got a lot to talk about. So, with that being said, I even took somebody's advice and made an itinerary of what I'm going to talk about, because it's a lot. First, let's get started with prayer. Dear Father, Lord of Spirits, I'm going to ask you the same things I always ask you. Give me guidance and strength. Make sure that my words are true. I don't want to give people bad information. Give me the strength to endure the things that are, obviously right around the corner. And Jesus, you said if I pray through you, that you'll make it so. So every little bit helps. So again, I ask you guidance and strength, and help those that are awake or freshly awake, because they need it the most. Guide them and give them strength. And I pray for the sheep. They got it easy. You said it best, forgive them, Father, they know not what they do. But what about the ones that do know what they're doing? Amen. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my medicine as always. Alright. So I got a shot of vinegar. Alright. And then I got my honey, my turpentine mix, honey. The vinegar. Let's get that done. That shit sucks. Followed. Can you see that shit? Yeah, the honey. Nice dab. Alright, so like I stated, I got a lot of things to talk about today. So let's get started. First, there's been a lot of craziness going on in the world. Right? If you go on my Facebook page, you'll see that I've been posting pictures of things that I've been seeing around me. Things from Weather Channel, the country being on fire. If you go as someone look at some of the weather anomalies that are on my channel, some of that shit's just not right. Some of that shit's just not right. One of my subscribers on my page posted a couple of videos a couple days ago of crazy weather storms in Orlando, Florida. Then she posted videos of what sounded like gunshots in the distance, like AR-15s, you know, the 5.56, any assault rifle, or the 7.26, any Kalashnikov, or AK, SK. Yeah. The reason why I bring that up is, one, she's a subscriber. Two, those exact same events that she was witnessing, I was witnessing where I am. And I'm in the middle of the country, out in the middle of nowhere. Military installation, about a mile that way. Looked up the ley lines. Yeah, I'm pretty close to a ley line. Runs all the way to New York, where I came from. The reason why I brought this up is because during the times that she posted those videos, like I said, I was going through the exact same things. Her name is Tammy Sanfords. You can look her up on my subscription and watch the, on my channel and watch her videos. The scary difference between the two is she had like a low caliber weapon, where over here it was a high caliber, like a 50 cal. Now, before you get all crazy with, you know, oh, that could be, you know, natural stuff. I've stated in my videos in the past that I've done time in the military. So right off my Facebook page, right, I'm just gonna open up my Facebook page real quick and go to my photos. I should have had this already set up, but I'm not used to having a computer at my disposal doing this, right? But, as I stated, I've done time in the military, and I've had a lot of practice with these particular weapons that I heard. To validate as such, which will probably freaking get me in trouble later, you know, whatever. Well, of course, like some of the first pictures that I ever posted. Alright, so here we go. I found them. Okay, so real quick, I watched the lady's video. To me, it sounded like AR-15s. You know, like I said, the 5.56. Now, there's a picture of me in basic, or, you know, during military, whatever. Man, long time ago, in 2013. Okay? Like I said, I did 10 years, so 2013, that's going back. So I've had a lot of experience with that particular weapon. I know what that weapon sounds like. Again, if you watch her video, you know what that weapon sounds like? But outside my house, I hear the 50 cal machine gun. Now, here's another interesting photo. There's me and my ugly ass getting ready to prep for it. So we had to zero in, we had to, you know, aim, target, you know, blah, 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 with that weapon. So, again, I'm familiar with that weapon. I know what it sounds like. I know what it sounds like up close, and I know what it sounds like from a distance. So, that's interesting. That was started on the 18th and went right up to my birthday on the 20th. So every morning I would wake up for those 3 days, and all throughout the day I would hear the gunshots. And we have very ominous storms going across. Now, right around the time she was apparently going through her storm, we had a crazy storm that went on over here. The same thing. Now, across the country, according to the Weather Channel, there was no storms, right? There just so happened to be a storm right above my house, or where I'm at, right? Now, the storm hit fast, furious, and loud. Right after the storm, it sounded like, oh, say 20, 30 different sirens from all branches, cop, ambulance, fire, just everything just lit up like, I don't know, I've never heard anything like that before. It just sounded like every siren in the town just lit up at the same time, except for the tornado warning sound. Now, at that point in time, I was curious, so I went outside to see what the hell was going on. Well, they cut the sirens a little prematurely. And guess what I heard? Trumpets. Trumpets. What the fuck? Now, if you do any research on demonology, you'll know that March is the month of Baal, which is exactly what they're spraying in the chemtrails, barium, aluminum, periodic table, BaAl. Temples erected in New York City, friggin' several other places, the Ark. So again, very interesting that one person caught it on video, and I was going through the same thing at the time. Now, I actually wish that I caught that on video, because that was pretty crazy in itself, that whole experience. You kind of question yourself, yo, did I just hear that? Nah. So around that same time, I went on the Weather Channel to see what was going on the Weather Channel, right? So, the first thing I noticed was literally, you could see the icon of where I'm at, but everywhere around me was engulfed in flame. Kinda interesting. So I started watching the Weather Channel. If you go again on my Facebook, you'll see a lot of pages or pictures of me looking at the Weather Channel exactly and seeing crazy anomalies. I got a couple of videos right here on the YouTube channel of the stuff. Crazy. So, did they summon Baal? And if they summon here, and that woman Tammy, had the same experiences over at her area, again, did they summon Baal down there too? And then look at New York, getting hit with nor'easter at the nor'easter. Well, if you look at some of the videos that are posted on here, that'll explain some of that, because whatever's going on in the UK, they're shooting direct energy up north. And it's causing all kinds of fluctuation. You can go right to weatherchannel.com and look at the infrared. And then if you go all the way down to Antarctica, one of the coldest regions on the planet, there's more heat coming out of that area than anywhere on the planet, including the equator. But if you look online, the entire equator is engulfed in flame. Better wake up, people. Better wake up. Now, I was watching a bunch of, channels. If you go on my subscriptions, you can see the people that I subscribe to. I get my facts, kind of from the same places that you guys do. Do I agree with everything that everybody says? No, I don't. Blue flame in the camera. Huh. That's kind of weird. So I was watching an episode before from Richie, and he was talking about how he doesn't curse in his videos and stuff. Because he's got a lot of Christians, that follow his channel or whatever the case might be, which I understand, it's cool. But if you're tapped, you're awake, you know something's wrong, whatever. You were tapped for a reason. You were tapped for yourself, not for a misconceived perception of what you should be. You're your own person. Free will's a bitch. Bottom line. So if cursing offends you, you're not a master of your own free will, because what I do with my words should be my choice, and it shouldn't affect you unless I'm directing them directly towards you. Free will. Should we always try to be better? Yes, of course. I mean, who wants to be a shitbag, right? Choose your words wisely. Like I said, I got a long list of stuff that I'm going through. So, let's see. Here's another funny thing. So I know a bunch of spiritual people that have been in situations, you know, in the past. I knew this girl once, you know, her mom was down in Louisiana, in New Orleans. She's been familiar with boarding street, so she's obviously been introduced to, like, you know, voodoo and Valhalla and all that other good shit. Right? Black Southerner woman. She does readings, you know, tea readings, palm readings, all that good stuff. And I was talking to her daughter and telling her some of the things that I was, you know, experiencing. Now, here's the funny thing. Like I've stated, it's not like I'm going out of my way for these experiences at all. They're just happening. So, to say, oh, well, I think you're doing... It's not working like that. I'm not doing shit. And several other people that are around me, whether, you know, in real time or, you know, the friends of mine and I keep in contact with, a lot of them are experiencing the same stuff, and I've stated that in other videos. And some of the people that are experiencing this stuff and are coming forth and stating this such, they're like as legit incredible as they come. You know what I mean? Like, you might not have to take my word for it. I'm a shitty Christian. You know, I won't even classify myself really as a Christian. I'm highly spiritual. You hear me pray to all of them. I believe in them all. Free will, man. Make up your own mind. So I'm talking to this girl and I'm telling her about the experiences and telling her about my videos, and I sent her the link to the difference between meditation and magic. And she judged the video based on the title of the video. She didn't watch it. She didn't even give it 5 seconds. But then she sends me a message back saying, oh, well, I think you're heading down a dark path. Did you watch the video in any way, shape, size, or form? Have you watched any of my video? No. But you're going to judge me and my video based off of a title. Don't people do that same thing with the Bible? Ugh. You judge it, oh, that's the Bible. You don't want it. And speaking of the Bible, going into topic number 2. Hold on a second. Speaking of the Bible, you have to be very careful with the Bible. People that have studied the Bible, they might want to go and fact check this. Maybe it's just the Bible that I have, but I've noticed some changes in the Bible. I'm going to tell you 2 of which that I know for a fact have been changed. And if they've been changed, like the Mandela effect, what else has been changed? So, we've all heard that parable about the lion sleeping with the lamb and what that means. Predator befriends prey. Everything's in unison, harmony. So I just went and looked that parable up, and now it's been changed to the wolf and the lamb. Well, you have expressions like wolves in sheep's clothing, and you know when they're talking about civilization in the Bible and using rams, black sheep, and pastures. It kind of goes against the grain, to have a wolf, a part of that. But now in the Bible it says the wolf will lay with the lamb. Interesting. But yet, when I was at the farm, they had a big painting right on the wall of the lion laying with the lamb. So, the Bible was changed, but the rest of the stuff wasn't. The story of Cain and Abel was also changed. So this is part 2. Having technical difficulties. I've tried to make this video several times. Always seems to have issues. So I was talking about Cain and Abel in the Bible, right? Okay, so the story that I remember was Cain was a herder and Abel was a farmer. Guy came down, asked whatever he asked. Abel made an offering of, his fruits of his labor. And Cain made a sacrifice. He killed a lamb and cut up portions and offered them. Right, there's a difference between the two. One made an offering and one made a sacrifice. Since Cain made the sacrifice, his shit was rejected. And then he became even more jealous and freaking did the unthinkable yet again. But now in the Bible, Cain made the offering of fruits and bullshit, and Abel made the sacrifice. So it's trying to tell you in the Bible that the sacrifice is good and the offering is bad. Now if Cain would have gave his whole sheep, right, instead of killing it and then cutting it up, it probably would have been freaking, honorable at the time. Right? But now the Bible depicts the sacrifice like a blood sacrifice is the way to go. Doesn't sound like God. Be mindful. Tesla talked about back in the day, with time travel. Many scientists and theorists and philosophers have. Well, what if they freaking figured out a way to do such? Went back and changed key elements like they did in the Bible. Go fact check it yourself. I got a Bible sitting right over there. Also, I've been noticing some other weird things. When I was out at the farm in Jersey, I saw a bunch of crazy stuff. Distortions in the weather that you shouldn't see. Anomalies in the sun that you shouldn't see. Just craziness. I come out here and I see pentacles in the sky, like stars. I have pictures of it on my Facebook. And something falling, like, out of the sky. Interesting kind of pictures. To see if I can pull it up real quick for you guys. Now, some of it doesn't come through. Alright, so let's turn this bad boy around. Again, it's the first time I have a computer at my disposal, but you could go right on my Facebook and check it out for yourself. But if you look right here, it clearly looks like something is falling. Right? Falling out of the sky. And then right here, you have the star. Right? Now, for whatever reason, this piece right here doesn't come up in the camera. But if you look on my Facebook, you can cycle through the pictures and you can see the other point over here. Right? You can see it through the tree. Right? The rest of the star is there except for this one little triangle piece right here didn't show up. But the rest of it's there. You can look through the tree, you can see it there, you can see it right there. And then you have this fallen thing. Right? Again, that's right off my Facebook page. Right? A couple other things off my Facebook page I also found, where I also have pictures from quote unquote the Weather Channel. Right? Well, what looks like everything around me is on fire. The entire equator is on fire. Now this is right from weatherchannel.com. Okay? So is this. And look at all these fires. Again, this is all on my Facebook page. This. Look at this. This is crazy. Hold on. Let me get a better picture of what's going on. So, yeah. Like, freaking everything is on fire. You got the United States up there, all engulfed. South America, you come over here, you got all that good stuff. Look at all that shit. Yeah, and according to our elders, oh, that shit happens all the time. Fuck, it does. And you got what looks like the sun, right? Again, on my Facebook page. Let's see. Again, you have the sun in this friggin' red object behind it. Now, it's not a glare. Okay, because if it was a glare, this red would be on the other side of these spikes. Like this spike, it wouldn't be behind it, and it's not even a little behind it, it's way behind it. I mean, you can see the difference in the colors. I mean, you go right on my Facebook page and you can see that nice little anomaly also. So again, interesting times. So I've seen a pentacle, right, over the house a couple days ago. That day, I also took photos and videos of the clouds and the demonic faces that were in the clouds. Now, so first thing was I saw the pentacle. Like, I went outside, I was going to let the cat in, and I saw the pentagram in the sky. And what looked like something was falling. I ran back inside, got my phone, snapped a bunch of photos and stuff. I should have took a video. I was just blown away. I was just moving so fast. And I went inside to tell somebody, like, yo, come outside, check this. And obviously by the time I got back out there, it was kind of distorted. You can still kind of make it out, but... And then the faces. And then I'm sitting here in the garage, you know, talking about this stuff and getting ready to do this video. And I'm sitting out here, right next to this sexy bammer of a car right there. I mean, yeah. Look at that. Sexy ass shit. So right on top of it, right where that basket is, there was a bag up there. Just random shit, you know, sheets, towels, whatever. And I'm sitting here, I'm just hanging out, you know. I look at the bag and I see what looks like a demon face in the bag. Now this is already after seeing, you know, the pentagram. Something obviously falling. Demonic faces in the clouds. And come in here and I see that. I see a bag kind of morph into like a demonic face. And I'm sitting there like, what the hell? I'm watching this shit for a long time. Finally, after watching it, you know, I'm talking like an hour of watching it morph and change and craziness. I asked somebody else who was hanging out with me if they too saw it, but I didn't say what I saw or anything of the sort. I just got up, went to it, and started pointing out features. Like, hey, you see this and this and this. A person saw it, got up, freaking ruffled up the bag, punched it a couple times, and then threw it across the room. I asked them what they saw. They looked at me like, motherfucker, you know what I saw. Now, if this is like the first time something like that's happened, I just write it off as a coincidence. But as I've stated in other videos, I don't believe in coincidence, I believe in patterns. If you watch my other videos, you can see that I'm clearly looking around. Well, in front of me in my other videos was a window. And at nighttime, when I made those videos, I used to see some interesting stuff out there. I wasn't the only one. I've caught family members staring out windows out that same side of the house, flabbergasted by what they saw. I knew what they saw. The shadow people, I told you about them. Look them up, they're real. Interdimensional, got all kinds of tech. Interesting thing. I noticed that some of my videos on YouTube are not getting the views that they should. Like if you open up the video, it says it's got X amount of views, but then if you go to my page, it's always missing a couple. Always missing a couple. Now, when I was gonna do these videos a couple days ago, it was missing more than a couple. It was missing like 20, 30 at a time. Two specific things. Now, if you know anything about YouTube, if your video gets a hit, it goes back into the recycles. You know, more potential viewers, you know. Especially when you don't have a lot of subscribers, you know, that kind of messes with your views. It doesn't go back into the recycles. So if they started blocking me. And then, if that wasn't worse, I was using Google Chrome. Google Chrome was making it so that I couldn't, when I opened up YouTube, I would see the video, but it'd be a black screen. There would be no videos. Even though things that I posted myself, whatever, just stopped playing videos. So I had to uninstall Google Chrome, went to Internet Explorer. Then, every time I clicked on something in my YouTube channel, I got this weird freaking error message that I don't think I've ever seen before in my life. I'm going to try to link a couple pictures into this video, because now I got the computer, I can make my own videos. So like I said, when I was talking about Cain and Abel, cut out on me, of course. You know, they don't want that shit out there. Blah, 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 right? So some crazy things are going on. Now I'm sitting outside one day, and I'm talking to a friend of mine, you know, enjoying the outside, because while New York and the rest of the East Coast is getting hammered with all kinds of shit, I'm in the middle of the country, and it's nice out, most of the time. Sitting outside, and as other people have stated, yo, birds, you know, birds are kind of weird. So I saw this hawk fly into view, one, and then disappeared. Shortly later, I'm like, there's two. They disappeared. It carries on that way all the way up to 5, right? So 4 would disappear out of view completely, and then all of a sudden 5 would be there. I started watching this shit, and I see a 6th one flying above them. Now, you know how hawks, you know, they circle, sometimes they get pretty high. Well, these ones were fairly high, but not insanely high. But the 6th one was up there a little ways. But I noticed some anomalies about the 6th one, the one that was way up there. It was a dark and bright red at the same time. Like, I've never seen a bird that high up that I could actually say, hey, that shit's red. Like, red, red. And as I'm questioning myself watching this thing, it banks to turn, you know, turn into the wind or whatever. And the sun hits it. And it reflects light. Now, I don't know about you, but I've never seen a bird that reflects light. Then I started thinking about it. Well, shit, how far up is this thing? Because, you know, the higher up, it looks like the regular, you know, the hawks that are flying much lower than this thing. But it looks about the same size. So how big is this thing actually? Interesting. Again, like I said, I have a lot of things to talk about, so I got to keep referring to my book and make sure I talk about most of them, because crazy times. And I'm not going to go long and draw it out like I did in a lot of the other videos. Like I said, I have a bunch of little things that I got to talk about. So the next topic is going to be reoccurring dreams. So reoccurring dreams, right? When I used to dream, I would always have the same dream. I've stated that in other videos. Either I'm flying or some post-apocalyptic thing. Now, while being out here, and I was talking to this kid, and he was telling me about dreams that he had, and the reoccurring dreams that he had. Basically what he said was he was in like a desert type area, and he seen this huge beam, and behind the beam he could see 2 trees and like a stream. And then over on the other side, he would see these other beings trying to kill the big bean, and he would get pissed and try to help out the big one. Now, those dreams that you had that are reoccurring or were so realistic you could have sworn that they were real, they probably were. What makes that kid's story so interesting is when I woke up and was doing a lot of research, I came across, you know, videos of the rake. And then, like I said, I had an experience with the rake. I still got to do that video. But, you know, obviously then I started getting carried away with, you know, the silly videos of, you know, supernatural creatures that are out there and shit. So eventually I stumbled across SCP, you know, files, creatures, whatever. If you go on YouTube and you look up SCP, there's a lot of videos, you know, these creepypasta type beings. Well, it was interesting because in that file that I was watching, basically there was a description of that being that that kid was talking about. Now, the chances of that kid stumbling across that information are slim to none. Okay, because I've tried to look for that information again after, and it's really hard. Like, and in the description from the SCP files, they talk about an angelic being with a flaming sword that would stand in front of what they thought was the Garden of Eden, or a portal to the Garden of Eden. And you can only see this portal through or in between the Guardian's legs. And the Guardian stood over, kind of erected over this portal. And if you got too close and you had intentions of going through the portal or doing the being harm, then you got slaughtered. But if you had no intentions of going through or, you know, wishing the being harm, you would have no issues. So I started asking him, well, were certain things known to you? Like, for example, was there cars? Was there planes? Was there buildings? Was there any of that? And he sat there and he thought about it for a minute. And he finally answered me. And he said, no. There was no cars, planes, none of that. And I was aware of that, but it didn't matter either. Interesting. Because where that being was supposed to be in the Nile somewhere. Nile River, Egypt. Yeah, so there wouldn't be any cars, planes, or any of that bullshit over there. In my dreams, I always get to a certain part, and I've been asking people about their dreams. And a lot of the dreams are kind of similar in the aspect, like they tell a story. Like if you listen to people and you ask them about their dreams, they'll tell you bits and pieces, especially the reoccurring ones. The miscellaneous ones, whatever. But it's the reoccurring ones, the ones that feel real. If you listen to enough of them, you'll see a history or a progression of events. I believe that kid got further in the experience or was at a different location than I was, but was experiencing the same thing. Like when he described the beings in his dreams, they were the same as the beings that were in my dreams when I'm fighting them shits. Coincidence? I think not, nah. And other people that I talk to about their dreams, they get right up to the point almost where we're at now, or a little bit past where we're at now. I believe we've been down this road many a time, and I've stated that in other videos, and I stated why and how it all started. You just gotta do the research. Free will. Free will's a bitch. That being said, and everything else that I've been saying, yeah, I'm pretty sure they already freaking summoned Baal on the spring solstice. They already did some fucked up shit on the winter solstice. I already stated that in other videos also. So guess what? We got another solstice coming up here in a couple months, which will be the summer solstice, which is the most powerful of all of them. Now, the month of March has Baal, like I stated before, and I'm pretty sure they summoned his ass here. You know, where I'm at now. So they could probably summon them all over the fucking world. They're pulling the final pieces of the puzzle into play. Guess what? They're probably gonna pull it off on the summer. I mean, they haven't missed a freaking symbolic freaking day or numerologic day yet. Why would they miss the most powerful of powerful, right? This summer solstice. That's when, you know, Jesus was truly born, right? According to the Bible, somewhere around there, you know, in the middle of summer. But we, you know, we worship his, you know, birth on Christmas. Yeah, Christmas. Which is actually the pagan of pagan holidays, yo. Saturnalia and Krampus. I made an entire video on that shit, too. In other videos, I also stated how to obtain more information. So, on my YouTube channel, if you actually go to my page, I'm going to try to set this up. I'll explain a couple things. Alright, so you got, you know, obviously you got the Richie from Boston, you know, he talks about a lot of the good shit. Then you got Nicholson, League Project, Possible Channel. The spiritual guy I listened to is Ted Nottingham. Yeah, he's pretty good. That woman, Lyla June, yeah. Yeah, I made videos about her, but she's also got a music video that I'm gonna link the link in this video also. I recommend listening to her, man. She gives me goosebumps. And then this dude, Tony Pantelleresco. Now, if you're sick with anything, let me open up his page real quick. Alright, so I'm actually going to search for one specific thing, because it's actually what saved my life. So course, it won't make it easy for me. But, this guy right here, he makes videos and does his research on all kinds of good stuff. His channel is pretty official, too. Like, he puts a lot of stuff in it, but this is where I learned about the turpentine mix. Of course, my batches are like 10 times stronger than his, but I mean, it gives you a good, a good freaking foundation, and then you branch out from there. Like he always says, tweak and make your own shit. So again, Tony Pantaleresco. Let's see if I could go to his homepage and show you. Well, this homepage kind of sucks, but here you go. Herbs plus beadworks. He's got tons and tons and tons of video. So, in the beginning, I was talking about that one of my subscribers posting videos of the gunshots in her backyard down in Florida, right? So let's see, I'll bring her up, go back to my channels. And you see I'm only subscribed to, a select few people. I get my UFO information from certain people, my CERN information from certain people, around the world from certain people, blah, blah, blah. But this lady right here, Tammy, I met her through a Richie from Boston episode. And it turns out her daughter is actually, kind of messed up with Morgellons, the same thing I am. So I subscribed to her so I could, show her, Tony Pantaleresco and some videos and proving things that I've done, right? But she posted 2 videos around the same time I had anomalies. So I just opened up her page, right? So you don't think I'm doing anything screwy. You see her page, you can look her up, right? Go to her videos. Again, I'm doing this with like one hand, so her videos. And the first one is a crazy storm, which is sideways. But the next one is gunshots, like crazy gunshots. Now, I already know they start around the 120 mark. Yeah. Now listen to this. Imagine hearing this shit first thing in the morning.
Yay.
Right?
It's my morning ritual is not getting up to not waking up to trumpets, but waking up to gunfire. Anyway, have a good day.
Very interesting. So yeah, that's what she posted on her page. Now, like I stated in the beginning, I was hearing 50s right over here at the military base. Same stuff, and I've already stated that I've done time in the military and I've had experience with both of these weapons to know what they sound like. But get ready. They're coming. They're prepping people, obviously, to the sound of gunshots. Oh, that's nothing. That's the military base. That's nothing. So when you hear it, you won't bug out. You won't panic. That's all they're doing. They're prepping you to the sounds of the bullshit. Right? Now you take that into consideration with everything else that's going on. Like, the anomalies and the weather and the freaking, things right from freaking weatherchannel.com. Like I've stated, and I've got a couple of videos. I've already, a couple weather anomalies, that's there. And this is right from, Weather Channel? And then you got New York getting hit with 4 northeasterns and a blizzard. Now, in my video, The Warning, I basically said, buckle up, people, it's going to be a bumpy ride. Guess what? 3 months, it's been pretty fucking bumpy, man. We had this winter solstice. I've made a video on that. That was already some crazy shit right there. Right? Spring solstice. again, crazy shit. Pretty sure I heard them bring ball in, crazy storms, gunshots, pentacles, falling shit flying around in the sky. Physical manifestations, like usually it's, shadow people out of the corner of your eye, you never get a full glimpse on. I have full-fledged, physical manifestation. That was crazy. Again, free will, man. You better utilize your free will, man. You're stronger than them. Study the Bible. Well, at one point in time I would have said study the Bible, but now I'm not so sure. And it just makes tactical sense, man. Like, if they wanted to really fuck up the masses, what's the first place you would go? Religion. Second place, education. Right there, you already got the masses. And that's exactly what they did. So the question is, what the hell are they going to do on the summer solstice? Because that's obviously right around the corner. And it's only a couple months away. You got all this crazy censorship with freaking Google and YouTube going on. Now, if you're a conspiracy theorist, they're going to link links to your channel, whether you want them to or not. They're just going to try to discredit anything that you say. So this ought to be interesting from here on out, eh? How you going to discredit the real truthers, the ones that are putting the real information out there? How you going to discredit them? It's time to let go of the bullshit that's going on around you, man. Bullshit theories and stuff that's never been proven. People think that technology is so friggin' great. Really, if technology is so great, let me ask you something. Why is it so complicated to do the simplest shit? I remember just transferring pictures from, say, my phone to my, computer. It was easy. It was just a matter of dragging a bunch of shit from one object to another and done. Now you got all these burning hoops and programs and bullshit that you gotta freaking sign into and log into. Like, they track every fucking aspect of your shit. Where that shit came from, how it got there, blah, blah, blah. IP address after IP address. And then you got weird anomalies too coming out, like, you got articles saying that the vaccines and flu shots had strains of cancer and bullshit in them and was causing people to get flus. And then you got another article that's coming out that says, they're the greatest thing that ever happened to mankind. And listen, they are not the greatest thing that ever happened to mankind. They have never stopped anybody from getting sick. And if they work, then why are so many fucking people sick? Why? And you're just willingly just pumping your kids full of this shit. Let me tell you something. Another thing. My head has been buzzing for days now. Since the 18th. It is now the 22nd. So it's like 4 days. My head has been really crazy buzzing. On YouTube, there was a guy that, was talking about a meteor anomaly here that's going to happen on the 23rd. Let me break this down from my perspective. The 18th, some crazy shit happened. We had crazy storms, freaking pentagrams being drawn in the sky, freaking gunshots starting every single day from that day forward until the 20th. And the 20th, I'm pretty sure I heard them bring ball. I explained the storms and, the sirens of the cops and all that shit. What are they going to do next? I'm going to try to compile some pictures also. And throw them in this video and see how it comes out. Alright, man. Be safe. Get right with God, man. It's happening. Alright.